Once upon a time, in a village nestled deep within the heart of Africa, where the sun painted the sky with hues of orange and red, there lived a people whose stories were as rich and vibrant as the land they called home. In the shadow of towering baobab trees, beneath the watchful gaze of the moon and stars, the villagers of Tonga Kingdom shared tales of ancient wisdom passed down through generations. Among these tales, one story held a special place in their hearts: the story of the moon and the women who walked beneath its celestial glow. Long ago, when the world was young and mysteries danced upon the breeze, the villagers believed in the sacred connection between the moon and women's bodies. They whispered of a time when the moon's changing faces mirrored the ebb and flow of a woman's monthly cycle, a belief steeped in the magic of their ancestors. They spoke of the red moon cycle, a notion that likened a woman's time of cleansing to the shifting pattern of the moon above. Just as the moon waxed and waned, so too did a woman's body undergo its own sacred journey, shedding its old to make way for the new. Amina, a brilliant young teenager who lived with her grandma, Safiya, had heard several tales from her peers at school about the red moon cycle. She was full of questions, but was not so confident about asking her grandma for the answers to her inner musings. As she grew and blossomed into a young lady, her grandma, Safiya, notified her that there were very important information that she would like to talk to Amina about, because it was the right time to do so. Amina was excited and constantly reminded her of this. Grandma Safiya told Amina to exercise patience, as the information will require a special day to be revealed. She then told Amina that she would tell her everything on the day of the red moon. Amina was curious to know what information will require a special day to be revealed, and eagerly anticipated the red moon's arrival. Amina tried to distract herself from the long wait, as the red moon was 3 weeks away. She did so by waking up early every morning, doing her house chores like sweeping and cleaning of the house, heading to the village stream with her 3 bosom friends, Titi, Tima, and Miriam. Amina and her friends usually set out for the stream at daybreak to get clean drinking water from the stream, as coming out later than daybreak will mean getting impure, muddy water as a result of visits by several other villagers to the stream. After completing her chores, she would have her bath, eat the delicious breakfast prepared by Grandma Sophia and quickly gather her learning materials and head out to the T junction that was not too far from her home to wait for her friends. When her friends arrived at the T junction that happened to be their regular meeting point, they would all walk together to the village school where their other classmates from surrounding kingdoms came to acquire knowledge. This was a regular routine for Amina and her friends, as they did it joyfully from Monday to Friday every week. They relaxed on Saturdays and took turns visiting each other to play and help out with house chores of whoever's house they visited. One day at school, Mrs. Salma, their science teacher, introduced a new topic titled the reproductive system to them and taught them extensively about their bodies and how it works to bring forth new life. She taught them about hormones and the menstrual cycle. Amina listened attentively to what was being taught by the teacher, as it held answers to some of the questions she had about the tales of the red moon cycle, which she had heard her classmates talk about in hushed tones. Amina was a brilliant but shy girl, but showed her true self in the company of her friends because she trusted them and was comfortable around them. She was so interested in the topic that she summoned courage to ask Mrs. Salma a question after the lesson when the teacher asked them to ask questions for clarification. Amina asked Mrs. Salma to explain what the red moon cycle was. This question surprised Mrs. Salma, as she had never expected Amina to ask her any question due to her shy nature. Mrs. Salma answered and said, there was no such thing as the red moon cycle in reality. She explained further and said it was a myth that the people of old, especially spiritualists, had believed in, but had now been proven to be false by science because there were no evidences supporting its existence in real life. She explained that hormones were responsible for the changes in the bodies of women as they grew from childhood into womanhood, and not some kind of celestial powers. Amina thanked her for the explanation and felt relieved that most of her questions and inner musings had been put to rest by the explanation. She felt happy to have had her worries pacified and was in a much better mood the rest of the day, as well as in the coming weeks after the lesson by Mrs. Salma. The days went by, and soon it was the day of the red moon in Tonga village. The day of the red moon also happened to be a weekend, and the turn of Amina's friends to pay her a visit and help out with her house chores. Amina was very happy when she woke up that morning and reminded Grandma Sophia that the day of the revelation had finally arrived. Grandma Sophia told her that she didn't forget and would keep to her promise. She told Amina that as soon as it was evening time and the red moon was high up in the sky, she would tell her everything she needed to know. Amina was excited to know what Grandma wanted to talk to her about and went about her day as usual. She kept wondering about the information subconsciously, but would distract herself with the jokes and stories her friends told her when they visited her. They stayed with her till evening and bid her farewell when they had to retire to their various homes. Just as she was about seeing them off, Grandma called out to Amina and said it was almost time. Amina's inquisitive friends asked her what Grandma meant by saying it was time. Before she could respond to their questions, Grandma Sophia walked out of the house with a mat, stool, and some roasted peanuts. She called out to Amina and her friends and asked them to come sit with her by the fire, for she had a story to tell them. What information do you think Grandma Sophia is trying to pass on to Amina? And why did she have to wait till the night of the red moon to disclose it to Amina? Hold on to that thought and comment what you think will happen in the comment section below. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel, turn on your notification bell, and share this story with your friends and loved ones. Till I come your way in part 2, have a pleasant viewing experience.